Hello? Yeah, there has been a connection, low connection, and sorry, G.
Uh,
There's been a little connectivity. Please,
yeah,
please,
sorry
please
about
go
that.
for it.
I
Yeah.
just see one of my students, Praveen, he's just joined, and
Yes.
which is lovely, and and yeah, so it was really interesting because you then put me aside in the airport and said, look, actually, I'm very experienced tour manager because I've been doing this for many years, traveling very early age with my father, and I thought, oh yeah, okay, that's interesting. And then I think we were in Berlin, and it happened again. We were checking in, and I knew that we have a lot of access baggage, up to maybe 300-400 pounds of access baggage. And I was a bit worried because it was a big group, and and then and then you said, look, let me go at the front, Talvin, let me check in. And you were checking in, and you had this magic mantra, magic word. Okay, which I've been using since actually, and the magic word was yes, please. So I remember you checking in, and we're just all watching you. And I think it was Lufthansa or one of these airlines, and she said, "Look, that's fine, no problem, but you must pay. You must pay." And you looked at her and said, "Yes, please." And then she said, "No, no, you have to pay. And the flight is going to leave soon. You must pay the access baggage." You said, "Yes, please." And then you kept on saying, "Yes, please." And she gave up. Then she smiled. She started smiling and laughing. And we paid nothing. So I was like,
I know.
so after that, I always use this, "Yes, please. Yes, please." You
It's a
know,
big mantra.
it's a great mantra. We shouldn't be telling everybody this, you know.
Exactly.
And but now we have to wait until flights, aviation
Yes.
again, so that we
True.
can fly again. But like I said, this time is also, it's a sacred time to do the kind of things which one doesn't get the opportunity in their lives to do. It could be anything. It could be cooking, reading, gardening. It could be anything. And this time is not to be taken for granted.
Mm.
In India, as you know, musicians, there's this special kind of calling, a longing we have for sadhana, like chilla
Wow.
sadhana, you know, like 40
Mm.
days. And so
Yes.
this
Yes.
this is a good time to kind of home in on stuff. Not necessarily do the things which you always do, like music, other things too. And just things which sometimes they lurk around in the periphery of your spectrum. They're not
Wow.
always
Wow.
right in front, but they're in the periphery. And it's good to catch those things and also kind of just focus on those
Mm.
things.
Yeah. It's very interesting fact because in yogic science, they always say about uh, the three states. Like what we are speaking now is with the remembrance, and there is another state, swapna, which is like the sleeping mode. And before the sleeping mode, and then the reality mode, the mind gets in a state where the like how you do yoga nidra. Yoga nidra is literally like you're switching off of all the activities and then the brain activity. So you come to a state where like you're no mind state, and then you're switching off, and then of course when you switch off the mind, then you're not really going like snoring state. It's not like sleeping. In between is the state is a very very
Yeah,
beautiful state. So that you have
yeah,
to experience, and they always say that during that state, and also the 30 seconds when your mind is on, like you switch
yeah,
on your phone, the
yeah,
30 seconds is very powerful. So the
yeah,
whatever you do in those times is
yeah,
really like is a subconscious mind really catches you. There is nothing
yeah,
called fear, like they always say in the yogic thing. So it's all about the collections of your patterns, how you are there in your environment. It gets so much in the garbage, and it's on the different levels in
Yeah.
Tejas and Ojas, that it just goes inside and sits strongly. That it
Yeah.
just comes up
Absolutely.
and pops up. Whenever the color you see, then you relate so much, and then you say that this is. So why I'm saying this is I've done this particular sadhana. Let it be vipassana, let it be any sadhana. Like the body gets used to this kind of. So first 7 days, it really treats like how you get up. It's not alarm waking you up. If it's an early flight tomorrow morning, we always get up early and then we go on. So if it's a
Yeah.
nice Sunday, you just get up on the 10 o'clock and then it's easy. Nobody can wake you up at 5 o'clock. Nobody.
Mm.
It's just a message what you feed in the brain saying that tomorrow is a relaxing day. So you get up nicely. So tomorrow is a flight, early flight. How do you get up? It's not alarm waking you up. It's the message what you feed in the brain that it gets
Yeah.
so stuck on the subs, which goes so inside that literally on the time it just gets up. The same way how we experience ourselves. And as you said, you can start up anything, like let it be any krama and parikrama or any sadhana or any kind of what you do, it should be continuous. And when that science happens inside, it gives you a different energy. And also,
Yeah.
I have found this 31 days,
Mm.
whatever you want to do, you just
Mm.
be with such perseverance
Mm.
that you wanted to achieve, and you
Mm.
go with full flow that you wanted to do it, then it
Mm.
becomes reality. I have personally done even in the worldly thing and also on the inside. So as you said, it let's use this time in a positive way. I know it's very defending and it's a challenging time, especially for artists. But
Yeah.
this idea is to create the positivity and also the positive approach in the minds of the people, not to get depressed or to go, but to be creative and to be connected to ourselves. Because when the love starts from inside, because I've enjoyed myself staying alone, because I had an opportunity to sing in the Theatre Cirque du Soleil. So I did
I
320
know.
shows on 345 days schedule. So I had this opportunity to extend my talent and my grammar, Carnatic music to the entirely different audience, along with the 44 talented super talents on stage. So when you go there, the discipline. So daily you do the same stuff. Daily shows, 7:30. So it's like a schedule of a thick discipline one.
Mm.
Call, quick call, first, makeup. Makeup was another art form I learned. So 1 hour and 20 minutes, complete makeup. So 21 steps to go inside the makeup, hair light, browns, brushes, screams, and then come out. So it's a system, like how you have the alap, jod, and then you do it, and
Yeah.
then a high climax, and then come back to the novel. So you know how they teach you how to go inside the makeup and come back. So the same way as you said, the daily I do the show, so it becomes like you become artistry, and you become a master and maestro towards your art, and it just
Mm.
develops. But if
Mm.
it goes on the negative side, then it becomes a depression, because
Yeah.
you have a conflict between your mind and body and the soul. So if three comes together and align, then you become a sadhaki. You become
Mm.
a master of it, because you appreciate both of the brains. Like left brain is survival, right is the which connected to the heart chakra. So there is a surrender quality which comes off from the right brain, and there is a mathematics. So the right combination of that, when it comes, you experience. You don't do anything, because meditation is what already is happening. You don't do something called meditation. It's
Mm.
happening. We come to a reality. We come to a clarity. We come to a awareness that the meditation is already happening, so that you enjoy and you cherish the moment, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. 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 I think that's where the sadhana is important. Is the fact is, and as musicians, we don't really need to separate the meditation and the kriya, you know,
Wow.
because the
Wow.
kriya is part
Right
of the
word, I was searching
meditation.
for that. Any kriya, whatever
Meditation.
you do,
Yeah.
yes.
You see, the thing is, I've also, with having an amazing guru I've been blessed with, um, it's been it's been a blessing. Uh, and some of that credit, I have to give a little bit credit to myself for going into the shower. of having that
Ah.
blessing, you know, because the thing is, the way I learn from Guruji, the way I'm still learning from Guruji is, and will always be learning, is that it's not the easy path, you know. And but I've always been very prepared for that. Like, for example, I've always tried to, as you know, okay, we go on stage and, you know, we're doing our thing and there's an audience. Um, I've always, I've always kind of stayed slightly away from entertainment, you know,
Hmm.
and that's why my kind of involvement with contemporary music and electronic music, you know, and also jazz music is also part of having friends and growing up in London in that environment. You know, I
Hmm.
realize a lot of the musicians are very deep at what they do. They don't necessarily play for the audience.
Yeah.
Like when you see an electronic musician, you know, I'm not talking about the EDM type of commercial stuff, but the real stuff. It's like your head's down. You're playing. You're not playing for the audience. You're not doing music for
Hmm.
the audience per se. You know, it's. But I find with what's happened with Indian classical music is it's there's no fault on the musicians, but the Renaissance and the whole kind of industry setup, because it's become part of the concert me entertainment media industry, you
Hmm.
know, about selling tickets, then the musicians have gone more towards like kind of entertainment, you know. And Guruji always he never ever was into that idea, and he always kept a very very good eye of, like, you know, you want to be a little bit careful. You want to do it because you're going to do it. You're going to do a little bit of it, but you want to always keep a check on yourself with that stuff.
Wow.
You know?
Beautiful.
Like playing for the screen, playing for the audience, playing for the gallery, music, you know, to entertain. Because, you know, there's there's a very there can be a very fine line between vidya, kala, and tamasha, you know? So
Oh.
you always want to make sure that you never, you know, enter this tamasha space, you know,
Hmm.
because that's a different space,
True.
you
Very,
know,
very
so
beautifully said. Yes.
it's a
And
different
also, when
space.
you played the Sur Bahar, I was like really stunned to see, because I know, being a melodic and also the melody, vocal, it's not easy to get the sur. Because my teacher always says that when the climax is happening, whatever, even in the mind, is the same. Whatever drama you do, so the it just flicks up and then comes back to the sum. Then it
Yeah,
becomes like,
yeah,
so whatever you do drama, I know it's all the play, it's fine, but
yeah,
the soul will really flick. It's just like when I go to come to
yeah,
sa, and then when it lands on sa, I said like, that's there it just wow, the wow factor happens only there. So as you
yeah.
said,
I mean,
uh,
I've learned so much from you, um, you know, and in a way, I have to really thank you so much, you know, because, you know, through our friendship, I've had the access of one of the greatest, I would say, vidwans of Talam, and, you know, which is Baba. And through our friendship, I've had, you know, access to that, and the blessings, the kind of blessings we got when we were in Goa together, the kind of blessings, you know. And for me, that is that's that's what really keeps me. It keeps me spirited. It keeps me going. It keeps me locked in there, you know. And so again, about the, you know, so sometimes even in India when I play with, tabla and contemporary electronics, you know, a lot of people sometimes are surprised because I'm not really looking at the audience. I'm not looking out. I'm deep organizing things and deep into what I'm doing, you know. I'm head down, head down. And they're not used to, in India, they're not used to head down.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not used to head down. And sometimes people even after the concert have told me that, you know, it was amazing sound, but why didn't you do this? Why didn't you speak? Why didn't you introduce yourself? Why didn't you do they're so used to these elements of entertainment in a way, you know, and I really I try to stay away from that stuff, and especially now. And I'm glad because like, you know, I mean, look at what the situation we're in now. I can see some musicians are getting very uncomfortable, you know, because they're using this medium, Facebook Live, to reach out to their audience. But you know, we don't always need to reach out to audience. Not all the
Beautiful,
time, you
beautiful,
know.
beautiful to
We
say.
can we can we can reach out to birds. We can play.
Mm,
We can, you know, we can just wake up and have our electronics off, and we can actually have a concert where we're playing for, you know, the birds, or even if there's no birds around you, you know, you create an imaginary landscape of nature, you know.
beautiful.
So the thing is, this is really important to not rely on. I mean, you know, I mean, we can see it as a contradiction right now because we're all on Instagram Live, and we're all together having a lovely Milan, electronic Milan, um, which is a blessing, which is great. And so that's why with technology, I've always, you know, I've always tried to use technology in music in a very positive way, not in a way where, you know, you're kind of like, you know, you're losing the kind of, you know, the essence of the spirit of music, you know. You use technology to embrace certain elements, and also the electronic thing for me goes long way. It's a long discussion. It's a big discussion, you know, because a lot of it's to do with people like Stockhausen, and
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
because
yeah.
again, like, you know, with Vinayaka, we get into these discussions about electronic music energy, and um, how it already began, how it really started, because Indian music has had a big influence on electronic music, because people like Stockhausen, you know, they were against this 440 stipulated, you know, organized,
Mm,
stipulated pitch system. They were
mm,
so interested in the Sruti's modular system. That's how the synthesizers started, you know, in Germany. That's how the early experiments actually, Stockhausen, when I got to, you know, got to meet him at the Barbican when we did a concert for him. Aphex Twin, myself, William Orbit, and Square Pusher, Tom Jenkinson, we were all there. And so he, you know, he said, he directly, Stockhausen said to us, he said, look, I studied Indian music. I studied Indian music, and I studied African music, and I studied, I think, Balinese,
wow.
Indonesian gamelan music, you know. And before he started doing his early electronic music kind of experiments, and you know, so I think electronic music has a strong connection even to the kind of Vedic, you
Yeah,
know, science, because
yeah.
it's about working with Shrutis, you know,
Wow. And
because
I,
when they,
I heard that you were just talking about the Shruti concept, like you were just trying to share one of the research what the people have found in London, and some kind of artist was just writing a article on the Shruti, which is a frequency, a kind of frequency which can really take
yeah,
off all this pandemic
oh
and
yeah,
epidemic actually.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
were
you're
talking
right.
about that.
I I just
Beautiful.
came I just came across the report 3 days ago, Mahesh, by, and I'll share it with you. I got a bit busy, and I did promise I'll share it with you, and I'll also try to find a way to put something on Instagram. So just about 5 days ago, um, a report had been paper had been published where there's a frequency response to like an 11th harmonic, which somebody had come up with to fight this virus.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's a scientific paper, and
Yes.
because we're obviously like, when I'm playing and I'm like in the music zone, it's like sound zone, I'm kind of feeling comfortable. I'm feeling like, it's like I'm going to be okay, I'm going to be okay in this radius, and because it's frequency, that vibration, it's so you can feel the energy when you're in that radius, whether you're making the music or you're perceiving the music. And when you're making the music, you're also perceiving the music. Like, for example, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I don't remember who, but I was talking about how and mastering. Since I've been doing mastering in the studio as a mastering engineer, it's also kind of helped me. The process of mastering has also helped me develop a peripheral ear, So, like, for example, if you're practicing your instrument, if you can listen, if you can put yourself in the position where you're not the musician who's playing,
You're not the doer.
You isolate yourself, okay, so that you're listening and enjoying. You're not being critical. Don't be critical over your sound, right? But enjoy your music, enjoy your sound when you play.
Exactly.
Enjoy it. Never be critical about your sound, because you're just enjoying that sound while you're playing, while you're practicing. So then what happens is you separate yourself. You separate yourself from being the musician who's playing.
Beautiful.
Right?
I found this in one of the very recent video which you posted, like when you just playing num 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 num
Yeah,
num
gina
num
gina naga gina naga gina
satanam
gina.
satanam
Oh,
satanam
yes.
satanam 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 satanam. So my father always do this one technique: Siva 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 Siva
Oh,
Siva
I've
Siva
seen
Siva,
him do it. I've
and
seen him do
and I
that,
just
Talvin.
like sitting with him and with the radius, as he
Yeah.
said, you surrender yourself on the floor, put your ego
Yeah.
down, and then just be there to receive.
Yeah.
Receive the blessing. Then you'll say, because these are the masters, like applications and all these style or math can be adapted, and it's like a theorem, it's like a formula, you get it. But this blessings, Reiki, sitting with him, and then he'll just explore because that's what the teacher really does. If he's a really good, guru, he just see you whether you're able to receive that. So he's able to give it. He is ready to give. But you need that capacity and adaptability and conceiving method. So he'll be really testing you whether this guy can really take. And then when you say, and when you stay silent, then he will say, do you know what is this? So he'll start doing. So my father created some new Tala technique, as you say. I'm sorry to interrupt because it's very interesting. I'm just coming
I'm
up.
learning. Please.
So he just took off the Tala technique, like how you have the patterns of numbers in Southern Indian music, like 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, the Tisram, Chatusram, Khandam, Mesram, and Sankirnam, and the rest of the numbers are the doubles. So 1 to 9 are the numbers. 0 doesn't have value. 0 has value only after the digits. So it goes Taka, Takita, Takadivi, Taka, Takita is 2 plus 3, Takita, Dikita, Takadimi, Takita, Takadimi, Takajunu. Takadimi, Takatakita. This is like a math, and out of
Yeah.
which they come with 35 Suladi Saptatalas. This is
Mm.
math. So you can't break the rule. Of course, you can break the rule in a nicer way to extempo and do your contemplation. So what
Yeah.
Vikuji did was like he introduced something called half beats, 9.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. takita Om Namo Bhagavate Sri 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 Chandrasekharim Saraswati Gurubhyo Namah Om Namo Bhagavate Sri 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 Chandrasekharim Saraswati Gurubhyo Namah Om Namo Bhagavate Sri 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 Chandrasekharim Saraswati Gurubhyo Namah taka takita tong ding tong tadi kita kun tadi kita kun tong ding tong tadi kita kun that's right. So
You know,
he introduced something like this.
Do you remember we were in London and you had said, look, please, can you come to play in New York? At the Ganesh temple, there's a concert, and Papa's flying in, and then I said yes, and then you issued the ticket. We all went separate flights. You all were separate flight, and in Flushing, we were in New York there was a festival there. Everybody was there.
Swapan Dada was there.
Swapan Dada was there. Shubhankar Bhai was there. Pandit Chaturnathi was there. Madhu Mudgalji was there. He was there, and so there's, and you said, look, I said, so what are we performing? What are we performing? And you said, oh, don't worry. I said, no, please tell me, like, give me an idea, and usually I don't ask, but because I know you guys, I had to ask, right? So I know what you get up to, and then you said, oh, it's nothing, it's 9.5. I said, nothing? 9.5? I said, really? And then in the beginning, I was kind of like, I was struggling a little in the beginning, and because I wasn't natural. I had to. I'm not a tabla player which calculates stuff. I just play. I mean, you can see in the video when we were in Ladakh. I'm just going for it, and I've always been like that. And so I started struggling a little bit. I was like, oh God, man. So if I want to play this, how am I gonna? I started thinking, and when you think, then music finish, right? And then and then Baba realized, and you both were speaking in Tamil, and then he came to me and he whispered a mantra. This mantra, right? 2-3 cycles, he gave me the mantra. That's it. We went on stage, we went on stage, and that was a great. I really enjoyed that. That composition, I love it so much. I look forward we can play that again.
Please, I would definitely give you. And also, the beauty of Vikuji's composition is that he'll make the math very audible and very clear, because he always says that whenever you do math, be genuine in what you're expressing. Don't expect others to just say, for example, Sarigabadasa Sadabagariza is Mohanam. Sarigabadasa Sanidabagariza is Bilahari. So when you Gabadasa Nidabagariza Rigapa, this was Bilahari. Gabadasa Dabagariza Riga, this is Mohanam. So when you stuck on riga 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 sari saga riga 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 pa, then people will just know whether you're going to come ma or you're going to go pa da. So he says that don't give this feeling to the people to guess your. Don't show your this mind. This is actually cheap. So he says that. So be wise. So when you want to have the change, don't expect others to change. Don't say, oh, I'm disturbed. Don't do it. It's like, don't ever say, you go to Himalaya, you will be disturbed because you're not calm inside. So don't expect the calm outside. Expect the calm inside so that you attain that calmness inside, so that you can achieve within you. That would really, trigger whomever who is receptive will just be there. Let it be only one soul who's just on the audience, just listening to you. So be responsible of what you're doing. Just don't go fascinated with this Maya, saying, oh, no, 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 just get into it. Just be there. Do the dharma properly. You will be rewarded. But don't just forget about the rewards. It will come. Do you think that it's just you're expecting for a smaller one? But I'm here to give something bigger. So don't expect, just deliver. You will be gifted. So that's what I've been learning when I travel with my father. It's been an experience for him because I've taken care of his management and I travel. And one day he asked me, he said like, okay, just tell me about the ticket. So when is the ticket? I said, okay, Dava, it's like 0101 2000 0001. So what does it mean? It's like, yeah, 1st January 2000, 0001. I was just thinking, it's like, is that what's happening? Tell me. It's like, yes, but is that like, tell me? It's like 0101 2000. Flight time is 0000. So he said, yeah, it means 31st January 1919. We got to be 3 hours before it. So
yeah,
0001. So he literally taught the math in a beautiful way. And he always says that please be 3 hours before the flight. So just because you are a business class traveler, it doesn't mean that you check in with 1 hour, then you lose it. Of course, you're going to get a launch. So you go there and express. So these are the simple fact, simple life lesson that one you
yeah,
can get. Musically
yeah.
also, he's so good. He's always says, don't worry about math. This is
Mm,
an
mm.
approach to learn the math. Learn the
Yeah, yeah,
math, the same time, be ready to forget it.
yeah.
If you don't forget the math, he always says that Dardram Pudikam. He says, like, when you always think the math, the beauty and also the other power side of the math is that you you try to do it, then it gets lighten up. When it gets
Yeah.
lighten up, it goes crazy because mind cannot, because this is so aggressive that it will just take away. So you can't calm
Mm.
down. So that's why he said that you learn. Don't say that you don't know maths. Learn it, but apply when that has to be. And when the application is happening, don't be just go on an illusion saying that, oh, this I know. No, no. Be genuine and to be attempt.
Right.
When you attempt with such integrity, saying that this is math. This is 3 plus 5. Taka takita, taka takita, taka takita sa. For example, there is a theorems in Indian math. I'll just give you a small example. So 2 sets I'm going to do, and then I'll do the double tempo. Yeah. Let's take takita takita. 2 samples. Takita takita tak taka takita taka takita taka takita dum 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 taka takita taka takita dum 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 taka takita dum dum taka takita dum dum taka takita taka takita taka takita taka takita taka takita ta. It applies to everything. So let's
Mm.
say 3. Takita 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 dung 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 takita 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 dung 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 takita takita dung dung takita takita dung dung takita dung takita dung takita dung takita dung takita dung ta. So let's take 4. Takadimi 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 takajunu 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 takadimi 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 takajunu takajunu takadimi takadimi takajunu takajunu takadimi takajunu takadimi takajunu takadimi takajunu takadimi takajunu
Mm.
takadimi takajunu ta. So the same
Mm.
principle. So math is easy when you approach in a sacred way, like
Yeah.
yantra and the mantra. Because Sri
Mhm.
Vidya, the concept is where like Sri Mahalakshmi is so popular, like people will have money, but they won't have jnana. I mean, they won't have the search for the wisdom. But the people who
Mhm.
have so much jnana won't have that kind of thing. The
Mhm.
unison of the Sri Mahalakshmi and Sri Mahasaraswati is the Sri
Mhm.
Vidya.
Yeah,
Tantra,
absolutely.
yantra, mantra,
But
tantra.
then you need
Yeah,
Ganesha involved in
exact
that too.
Ganesha. No,
If
that's the
Ganesha's not
starting of
involved in
Ganesha.
that, you know, the word jo trikon, trikon.
Wow, that's amazing. I think this session is going on somewhere. Like I almost forgot that it's almost 45 minutes, but it's
I
so
know
beautiful that
battery is going to go down a little bit. It's 15%. It's not bad, not too
okay.
bad, you know. Um,
But would you
But
like
the
to give
thing,
us some of the bowls or whatever you were just telling about the Gharana? Because I'm from the Southern Indian. Please, would like to know about the Gharana system, and then how did you, and some kind of bowl. What do you have? Like we would like to listen some, from your famous
Guruji,
Gharana.
no, Guruji always he would always say um, that classical music, he used to say to me that classical music, this thing called classical music, he said, is only in South India, not in North.
Wow.
Yeah. So if we in the North India have this idea that we play classical music, forget it. It's not classical.
Mm.
There's so many influences from
Mm.
Persia to it's all a big, nice, beautiful, really tasty dal, not khichdi, dal, with many different things,
Wow, wow.
and or paratha, with many things. You don't know, and when good paratha is made, aloo paratha, you don't know the things in there, cumin, dhania, and how much. There's so much stuff going on in there, the
Wow.
real stuff. So in the Punjab, um, the other second thing Guruji used to say is there's no such thing as pakavaj.
Ah.
There's no instrument called pakavaj. There's no
Okay.
instrument called there's no instrument called jodi.
Oh.
So pankawaj is a style of playing the mridang,
Mm.
like a punk,
Punk. Okay.
and so the actual real name, the name of the instrument is mridang. Whether you go to Orissa or
Yes.
the Punjab or
Wow. Beautifully
South
said.
India, there's only one
Yes.
instrument, which is mardang. So
Yeah.
these are styles, like Pakavaj is a style, and our tradition, I would say our tradition, because I'm part of that because I know very little tabla, but the tabla I've actually learned from my Guruji is Miyaji's tabla, because
Mm.
Guruji, he never taught his tabla to me. He never taught his own tabla to me. He taught Mia Qadir Bakshi's tabla to us.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. And he used to always say it because look, Guruji's grandson is just here. I have to play my pranam to, even though he's younger to me, but he's more senior because he's my Guruji's grandson. And he's a wonderful tabla player. He's playing so amazing, So he just said true, because he's also heard these things, where
Avir Bhavan.
Avirbhav. And so, he would always, I used to do the old trick, there's a trick where when you want to learn something from your teacher, your guru, you decide what you want to learn and you play that a little bit on the side so they hear, this trick, everyone knows. I'm the only person who knew this trick,
Yeah.
And so I used to do this trick, and I used to play some of the trendy things, which we listen to and we want to play. And then Guruji knows that I want to learn those things. And then he used to sit me down and say, those things you're playing, you want to learn. He said, there's nothing in it. He said, because you sit down with me and you learn where it comes from. I'll teach you where it's coming from because you're creative. He said, you're a creative mind. You're not a textbook type of musician. You're creative. He used to say to me, he used to give me that confidence and say, you're creative. You'll make these things. You'll make 100 out of the things which I'm giving you. If I don't do it and I don't make it, that's my fault. That's my weakness. That's my loss.
Wow.
But the way our Guru taught us, he's taught us the real thing. Like, I'll give you an example of a qaida, Punjab qaida.
Please.
And this qaida is din daganada. Huh? Din daganada. Titikit dada gigina ka dinagina tak gananda. Titikit dada gigina ka dinagina din daganada. Titikit dada gigina ka dinagina tak gananda. Titikit dada gigina ka dinagina. Huh? Now, if we want to garnish this, Gina daganada, Dagana Tataka Dati Dagana Tagana, Dagana Tataka Dati Dagana Tenagana Thing Tenaganata, Titica Tagata Tagata Tagana, Dagana Datika Dati Tagana Naganagina, Daganada, Daganda, Tika Dati Daganatana, Tagana, Dagana Datika Dati Dagana Tenagana. Now, what I sung first, which is the Kaida which we learned, Din Daganata, Titica Tata Gigana, you know, so you know where the lineage, because the Qaeda, the other Qaeda is you know, Tirikwa Khansab made this famous, because if you look at art, if we go, Mahesh, away from music and we look at art, you know, Gina Daganada, Daganada, Trikatati Daginate, Nagata, Gina, Daginate, Naganata, and the intricacy, the cart, the rash, like cutting, you know, a beautiful diamond. All of this work, all of this art started happening in the Mughal traditions. You know, I mean, Taj Mahal, look at the intricacy of this work.
Taj Mahal, yeah.
Okay? Not that the Hindu temples or the Gurdwaras are not intricate in its artwork, they are. But, you know, what I'm trying to say is we have to realize where things come from, you know? And so Tabla, whether you think Tabla Punjab is not a Tabla Gharana, maybe so, you know? But it's a Pakavaji Gharana. It's the king of Gharanas, because it's a very, very long, old tradition. And actually, to be honest, playing the instruments was not even important. Playing the instrument, you could play whatever you want to play. It was important, but it wasn't so important because, you know, in the Punjab tradition, they used to, before teaching the percussion, they used to teach Chand, Pingal. In the Vedic tradition, Pingal, where the mantras come from, you know, and they used to teach Pingal, or they used to teach, you know, other, like where, if you see Arus is the system which is the meter system, which comes from more Chandas, which Ghalib, Mirza Ghalib, and all those people, they studied Arus. Which is the same system, you know, and so all these chands, they used to teach the meter. The chand was more important, and you know, luckily I kind of, you know, Guruji displayed a lot of those fundamentals to us. Aesthetics and folklore was very important to him. You know, teaching was sometimes, he was more spontaneous, you know. There was more teaching, going and buying vegetables in the market or walking. It was never really in front of the instrument, because that's the way it was. And I feel lucky that I've been in that environment with him and spent those amazing moments. And it kind of makes you feel like, it also makes you feel, if you ever get away from music, it makes you feel like you owe something to somebody. Tomorrow, if I feel like it's going downhill, you know, is all I have to say is I actually owe something, whatever it is, to somebody, you know, for giving me that love, you know, and that I think having a guru like that, I think is, so whatever those kind of things, some people really recently appreciating my tabla and you know, outside of the contemporary world, and saying, oh, but the sound and this and that, and I'm like, you know, that's just because I'm feeling something. I'm feeling like I'm feeling I owe something. I owe something to someone else, not me, you know. And coming from a tradition, I've had, you know, I mean, it's been a great, so far, the early career has been really good fun, and we've had some really good times together making music.
Amazing. This reminds me something. Of
collaborators made by, you know, it's like it's all everybody's love. I'm doing what I'm doing because the thing is, like, you know, coming from a liberal Sikh family, you know, I was pretty much told not to make this a profession, you know. And I
Yes.
realized now, I kind of realize why,
Oh.
because the thing is, like I was saying earlier, when we enter the professional world, we have to be very careful, because this is not, it's not designed for the professional world. The inner uh, kind of, the inner sound, the inner music, so we have to. I feel very lucky. I feel lucky that I've had a slight parallel dual career, where my sadhana is sometimes a bit sacred. I don't always, I don't always go out there and play the things I really keep close to me. But
Hmm,
my involvement in contemporary music has been,
hmm,
yes, it's fun. I love it, and it's not just fun. I'm deeply involved in it. I
hmm.
have a track. I have a piece of music
Please.
called Kalpana, and I was shocked that over the last 48 hours, it came on my new system, because I had the idea on stereo, and it's from 2008,
Okay.
and all the Gattam is programmed on Swarshala, and it's all influenced.
My,
This Kalpana track is my take, is the Talvin Singh take on Shakti.
yeah, I
But
remember when you said your name, my Babaji said that, oh, you said Talvin Singh. He said, Tal, there is Tal in there, and you are singing.
yeah,
So, yeah, so that's the blessing. So it's
yeah.
actually, then you say that, yeah, it's Talvin Singh.
So so I've got this track Kalpana. I've got it up on my system, and so I want to share it with you. There
Wow,
is a
that will be
sample.
amazing.
There is a sample in there. I was in a restaurant at the Taj in London, early days, like when they first opened up, and the guy was on the Indian restaurant. He's a really nice guy, really wonderful chef, and Sridhar. His name's Sridhar, and Hariharan, actually, we dined there, and he introduced me to Sridhar, and then Sridhar gave me a CD of Rag Bihag on on Veena, Saraswati Veena.
Wow.
And the person who's playing it, so I sampled it.
Okay.
And he's actually royalty. He's royal family of Raja
Uh,
Rama,
Veena
Rama,
Balachandar? Veena S.
no, Rama,
Balachandar? No. Rama. Yeah, he's a grandson of that. Yes, Raman.
Rama. He lived, I think he's in Kerala, maybe,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
Trivandrum. Trivandrum?
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah.
You
I'm
know who
not
I'm
sure,
talking?
but yeah, I know about the Mr.
He's a
Raman
wonderful singer
Bharadwaj.
too.
Yes,
He's a
Raman
brilliant singer.
Bharadwaj. Yes,
He's an
Rama
amazing
Verma.
singer.
Yes,
Rama Verma.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
Exactly.
Rama
You
Verma.
know, Rama Verma. So I sampled his Veena on that track. So I need
Wow.
to get in touch with him. Maybe he wants to replay his part. I need you to sing on there, please. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please. And there's a special place for Baba's solo.
Wow. Let's do it. Let's rock on. He'll be
Now
happy
you
about
have
it.
to. Now you have to tell me. Shall I keep the program, Gautam, because it's quite cool.
Please. Now, yeah, let's have it a listen, and also I'll show you the same way. I did the same with Zakir Bhai, because when I was flying, and then he called me and ask me what is the track I have to do for the 85th, 75th birthday. So I showed him the same way. Now you make me remember. He said, like, you show me the track and I'll show it to Baba, and whatever the blessing
That
comes. Please,
that'd be
I'll be
amazing.
happy to listen.
Hamsika's here. She's with us. Hamsika Iyer, wonderful, amazing singer. Um, very special friend. She sung on actually 4 songs so far, and two of them about to come out on the new album. And then on this film, we scored Once Again film with Shifali Shah, Neeraj Kabi. Um, she sung that song Tu Hi To Hai,
Amazing, amazing.
yeah, which is on the on my YouTube channel. So I like the idea of this YouTube channel, because I've always stayed a little bit kind of social media shy type, and but now I'm getting into the things which I like, the platforms. Like, I don't like Twitter. I don't get involved with that. I like a little bit of Instagram, and I'm building the YouTube channel because it's a good platform because YouTube Music to just put out your music, And so
True.
now, hopefully, in a year's time, the YouTube channel will be like a nice record shop, Talvin Singh record store. People could
For
go in,
sure.
and because I miss the artwork. It's nice when you can see artwork. There's a wonderful artist, a mutual friend. I've just met him. He's a friend of yours, Jesh, lives in.
Oh,
I love his work, and if he's here,
James Krishnamurti.
yeah,
Oh
Krishnamurti,
my
wonderful.
God. I can't tell you how excited he was, and he shared his thing, and he invited me to his workspace. Oh my goodness.
Amazing.
Oh, he's awesome. He's awesome.
So,
We're
you
all,
know,
it's just connection. Please tell me.
yeah,
I would love to
absolutely.
hear that, and
So
people are so happy that you are able to, bless
there's a
us with that track.
Mahesh, there's a composition um, which is interesting because it's a Farmaishi. It's a Farmaishi Chakradar. Farmaishi Chakradar actually it can mean many things. It's a Farmaish, it's like a challenge of, okay, make a composition, compose something which has the sounds of thunder. That can also be
Okay.
Farmaishi. But
Okay.
people have stipulated it to one thing or two things now, but that's not the case. But the Fromage chakra that most people talk about today is where the first paragraph of the chakradar, the first tehai out of the three on the first paragraph ends on the one.
Oh, on the sum.
On the sum. On the second paragraph, the second one ends on the sum.
Oh,
And on
beautiful.
the third paragraph, obviously, the third one ends on the sum.
Wow, interesting.
So and Bedam is where there's no gap between the paragraphs,
Yes.
And but usually the Farmashi works and has its kind of validation, validity, like when it's in fast tempo, drut there.
Hmm.
But this particular one, if it's in Vilambit, where the talam is and where the kali is, where the talam is, you'll find da bol, and where the kali is, you'll find anhad, no bol.
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
So this composition I'll recite to you a little slow, just to get a feeling of the Punjab language, because in the Punjab, I feel when it comes to Punjab Gharana, language is also very, very important. So Titikirdan, Nagatitadan, Katagadiginada, Kattitagigititaginadan. Now, one thing in Punjab is you'll hear a lot of this dan. Yeah?
Dan.
Ha, dan. Titikirdan, Nagatitadan. Titikirdan, Nagatitadan. Titikirdan, Nagatitadan, Nakatagadinginadan. Kattitagigititaginadan. Titta katta gadi ganadan. Didagirdan, Didagirdan, Didagirdan. Titikirdan, Nagatitadan, Nakatagadinginadan. Kattitagigititaginadan. So this is, the kind of Punjab style, as we
And it's
know.
just bindas.
Yeah.
The
And
kind
like
of
the Bava, the language,
wow.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
in a composition, one can compose anything they like, joke anything, but it must feel like, it should feel like, Titikirdan, Nagatitadan, Titikirdan, Nagatitadan, Titikadiginnadan, Kattitagigititaginadan, so, and another thing, Mahesh, which is really beautiful, if you slow down these compositions, you can sing them like Drupad.
Oh.
Like this composition. Dhanakata, Dinakatakita de, Ekadana, Dana, Dekitatakina, Takina, Dinakita, Tekita, Takita, Dekita, Kata, Takita, Takita, Dekita, Kata, Takita, Takita, Dekita, Kata, Takita, now if we slow this Dhanakata, Dinakata, Kita, de, Kita, Dana, Dan, de, kirtan. So the
Wow,
so the
wow, wow,
ball,
wow, wow.
you know, the balls, you can sing the balls when you really slow them down to Vilambit. These are very special compositions of the Punjab.
Wow.
And
It
there's
feels like it feels like yesterday you have sent like go so much so na nizadi da pani ma
क्या बात
ga ga ri.
तो
So, can you sing that, please?
रूपा
Chupana
सोमा रूपा नाग
Somarupana
ब्रह्मा विष्णु हाँ
Hiranya. The second part?
तेरा चरना सोमा सोमा
Soma Supana. Aha.
Yet, this composition is actually, it's Pandit Suresh Talwalkarji's.
Ah, he's a man of the Sur. The
Oh,
Guruji is such
you
a
know, the
blessing.
thing is, so I think, and that was the great thing about Pandit Ravi Shankarji is like, you know, I got interviewed for his book, but they didn't write anything I said, you know, and what I talked about, which is a shame because, you know, one thing I was saying is it's very rare a musician is born with elements of nrit, dance,
Ah,
right? Saraswati bean elements, and then he has Shiva elements because you know he has so many. That's why he's Pandit Ravi Shankarji. You know, he was
beautiful.
complete in all of these things. You know, I mean, unbelievable. You know,
Wow.
drama. He was
Ah,
dramatic too. When he was on
theater.
stage or whenever you met
Yes.
him, you know,
Ah,
you know. So he was so complete as a person. He knew
wow.
this is very rare. No, you get this
Beautiful.
in a musician, like all of this, you know, complete this
Wow.
kind of completeness. You know, because he was so
It's,
strong in rhythm, so strong in tal, Pandit Ravi Shankarji, and there was no messing around when it came to keeping the roop of the rag.
hmm.
There was never any compromise. No, there
Yeah,
was
yeah.
never any hanky panky when it came to
That's so
when it came to
beautiful.
the rag. You
That's
know,
yeah, it's very serious. And I've seen you showed me one raga. You showed me the movie Raga. I know, I remember. But it's so amazing that to hear that from you, and it's been fantastic that the time is like really going like anything. Amazing. Thanks
you
so
know.
much for those insight,
It's
and
just a
it's been a
blessing. It's a
pleasure.
blessing to
It's a
have
blessing.
this opportunity. This is my first time I'm doing this Instagram live. You know, I didn't even know how to do it, and
Oh,
I was worried that how am I going to get on the platform? You know,
please, I think
and
if you're ready, people are just loving it to be here. And also Chaturlal ji's 95th anniversary is coming, and I'm also being a part of that. So they interviewing
amazing.
things. So it will be great to have you on
He
online, and I will let you know. And
Pandit
this, I
Chaturlal
think,
ji,
Chaturlal ji.
he was he was the first, pretty much the first tabla player to go abroad and play. You know, Pandit Ravi Shankar ji, he was the first person who he had taken as his tabla
Wow,
player a long time ago,
wow.
and
And
you know,
Durga
amazing.
Lalji. Durga
Oh,
Lalji, who's
Pandit Durga
dance,
Lal,
and then
of
like
course.
like how you said playing and dancing, like how the other Guruji did. So he used to play and dance, and then
Oh
I
yeah,
know
he
it's like
he was an amazing Pakavich player, Pandit Durga Lal ji.
ah
You know,
ah
and
yes, and
he played.
Shafat Bhai who used to play.
Yeah, that's sad that he passed away very early age.
Oh,
You
these are
know,
some of the collections where my dad used to have in
yeah,
the oldest one, and when Zakir Bhai connection. It's amazing. I mean, this time is like really going, but I'm so
It's
happy
really
that you came.
special. And, let's just take this opportunity because there's so many people which have logged in and, friends of ours and musicians, which we love and respect. And